you get the chocolate milk flavor because there's milk, unlike Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
I'm going to give this.
It's Woohoo now. Okay.
Wait.
Been
Oh, no.
rebranded.
Did I say? No, it's
You
Yoo-hoo.
said woo. Yeah, you said woo.
Okay,
with
now it's called Woohoo.
confidence.
Welcome back. Now we're here at the biggest podcast crossover in history. We got the usual Chalky Milk Gang here for season 2, episode 9, the 11th episode of the Chalky Milk Gang. But we got Aaron of Who Asked, the biggest podcast in the world. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I am very excited to be on this. I'm a big fan of yours, so it's really cool.
And we
to be
are
on
a
here.
we are
big
yours.
fan of you. If you haven't subscribed to the Who Asked podcast, you gotta do it. I've seen a few of them. They're pretty good.
Link in
Thank
the
you.
description.
Link in the
We'll plug it.
description.
Absolutely.
But yeah, welcome back. In this episode, all 4 of us have been camp counselors at some point or another. We're going to talk about what it's like to be a camp counselor, some overall tips on how to be a camp counselor, be the best that you can be at that great profession. But first, the fan favorite, the Chalky Milk reviews. Who's going first?
I'll get mine out of the way. It's Stu Launer. It's 9.2. I'm still working on remembering to get other stuff, but it's a classic.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is it cold right now or?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
okay, good.
type of question is that?
I think warm chocolate milk is just not the play.
Have y'all ever thought about putting ice in there?
I think it's been a
Have you
thought
thought
in
that-
my head once.
Have you thought it
in my
through
life.
all the way?
Well,
Are you
it's
telling
like
me
I feel like no. I wouldn't do it personally.
Do you have ice in your
Chalky
chocolate milk
ice
right now?
cubes.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I think
I
it's
thought
a good
about it.
play.
I think
I
if you
think
get
the same
Chalky
people-
milk ice cubes, it'd be okay.
That's a smart idea. I feel like the same people that put ice in their orange juice would also put ice in their chocolate milk. And those are the people I despise in this nation.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Those aren't the right people.
No.
No.
I don't know. Aaron,
That's
let's hear about
weird.
your
Can we
chalky milk.
Cancel culture.
Um,
Can we cancel those people, please?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Somebody get on that.
Oh yeah. I hate cancel culture unless it's for my own personal use.
Yes, as it should be.
So I have some classic Nesquik. It's
Okay.
nothing special, but it's a taste I can respect.
Mhm.
Absolute
I-
respect.
It's something you would just grab. Daily driver. I'd say it's. I'm not an experienced person when it comes to chocolate milk, but if I was to try and give it a rating, I'd maybe give it a 7.6.
7.6.
Yeah.
7.6.
I think it's
Solid
respectable.
rating. That's a rating you shoot for if you're making
Mhm.
chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
That does better than True Moo and Horizon. So I think that's saying something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Chima's keeping
That's
tab
solid.
of our.
Oh, yeah. In our
rating.
description, we have all the chalky milks that we've reviewed so far. The best has been Trader Joe's with a 9.3. The worst has been Will Hotch's almond milk with chocolate syrup with a 2.8. So
Honestly, that might
Pretty
have
up
been
there.
high, to be
That's
honest.
so.
it's pretty high.
That is so gross.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What about you, Tyler? What do you got?
All right, I got something different. I got a Yoo-hoo from the gas station.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
not even
those.
sure if this can be. I said we're shaking it up because it says shake it on it.
Oh, you gave
But-
us a pun, did you?
See, the craziest thing, I don't know if this can be considered chalky milk.
It
Why?
is. It is
Why
definitely
not?
It's
considered chocolate milk.
drink on it. What is that?
Is that
Well, I
because
think-
it technically doesn't use milk? That's so despicable.
Let's look at whether it has milk in it.
Does it have milk? That's
Water,
important.
high fructose. It's got whey from milk. So
It has no
I
milk.
think that
it has,
counts.
It has non-fat dry milk.
It'll count for chocolate milk, chalky milk, but technically there's no
I
milk
don't-
in
I
it.
don't know that it is.
It sounds like there's a lawsuit in here.
That's why it's called drink. Yeah.
I have had Yoo-hoos before, and I think they are worse than whatever Will had that one time. I think a
They
Woo-hoo
have like a fishy aftertaste. I always
1.8 on the scale. I want to see what Tyler thinks, though.
All right, yeah, let's give it a try. Oh, that pop, that is nice. That's what you like to see.
I'm a Snapple.
Yeah.
Like my first impression, the flavor, it hits you immediately. Like the textures, whatever, it's nothing to write home about. But it's weird. It's not like it's chocolate, but it's like not milk.
Spit that.
Preach, queen.
This bothers me. This makes me uncomfortable. It's not terrible. Like it's got like the basic flavor down, but just I don't know. There's something off about this, and I can't put my finger on it. It's gonna
It's the
bug
fact
me
that it's a
until I finish.
beverage, not a milk.
It's not
I
milk.
think we know what the
Yeah,
problem
that's.
I think if we're gonna do chocolate milk, there needs to be milk
I don't
in
like
the
it.
in the thing.
Should we just put it on its own scale?
I wanna see
think
what
it
Tyler
counts
thinks.
Just because
Maybe.
it's culturally assumed.
I think it counts though. I really
I
do.
think it counts.
I'm gonna
It's
give
popular enough.
I'm gonna give it a 4-5.
4-5.
Yeah,
That's
I think
awesome.
that's
we've
I think
had
that's
worse.
completely fair.
I've had worse. Like I had chalky milk last week. I had on which I forget exactly what it
Oh
was.
yeah, the
but it was
DHA or
flavorless.
whatever from Horizon.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah.
I was not a fan. This is better than that. It is. This has the flavor to back itself up, albeit awkwardly artificial, but it's there. But it's
That's
it's
crazy.
not good. I wouldn't drink
good.
this. I wouldn't
It
drink
looks
this.
it looks very smooth for a chocolate drink.
It does look smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
It's
mine
almost a little
chunky. I
watery.
don't know.
But that
like
carries
mine
through a
with
lot
the
of your
straw.
life.
Okay, whatever. Just let's move on,
We'll move
please, please.
All right.
So,
Ready for mine? So over here in my college house at UMass Amherst, I got a fridge right here, and that is gonna supply ourselves some chocolate milk today. We're gonna get it out of the fridge, and
Oh, right out of the fridge.
it's gonna be Hood Moonstruck chocolate whole milk with vitamin D and no artificial growth hormones. This is crazy stuff. I got it at Big Y, the greatest grocery store of all time.
Please
Just
sip
took
it out
off
of the carton.
that
Please
looks
sip it out of the
really
carton.
good.
Out of the
All right, I'll
carton.
do it. I'll do it.
Yes.
All right, so
This is one step
no
closer to
high
straight out of
fructose
the
corn
cow's
syrup.
teeth.
Someone tag Badlands Chugs.
All right, what's up? This is Badland Chugs. Here's some.
Oh,
Finish it.
Oh, that's a good face.
I'm gonna have to have another sip.
Going for round 2.
initial thoughts.
All right, so here's the thing. This is excellent. This is very good.
Mm-hmm.
It is a cow on it, which makes it even better. Like, look at
It
this
has a
guy.
fun name too.
Look at this guy. And his Moose Truck, yeah, is the best name in the game. I think in terms of names of chocolate milk, this is number 1. Can't beat that. This is excellent. This is really, really good stuff. You get the chocolate milk flavor because there's milk, unlike Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
I'm going to give this.
It's Woohoo now. Okay.
Wait,
It's been
Oh, no.
rebranded.
did I say no? It's
You said
Yoo-hoo.
woo. Yeah, you said woo.
Okay,
with
now it's called Woohoo.
confidence.
Hey, you know what? That's fake it till you make it. Yoo-hoo, it's better than Yoo-hoo. Yes. This hood, this is an 8.8.
Wow.
8.8. That is excellent stuff. Crazy.
I love how we keep broadening our horizons.
I like that because Horizons is a brand of.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there.
It was
Tyler didn't
totally
like
on
Horizons.
purpose. Totally on purpose.
Absolute
We're gonna
genius.
now we're gonna do a little pour here.
It's a cute little glass.
That's
That's a good
Thank
pour.
you. I got it on my dishwasher, but yeah, I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get these chalky milk names right. Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
All right, but yeah, let's talk about being a camp counselor. What are you guys' experience with that?
It's off because Will and I, we started last week. Our last week was our first week at day camp at Hackino in town, and I don't know. It is
YMCA
what
camp.
it is.
YMCA camp.
Yes, YMCA camp. I don't know. It is what it is. I've been doing it for a very, very long time. So for me, it's just kind of back to routine. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like a specialist, which means I just get to run sports all day. or like the rock wall. So it's a different experience for me. It's better. It's way better. I don't have to run around with kids all day, unlike the regular counselors who have to, stay and go with their group to everywhere. Will can comment on that a little bit because that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I'm just a normal counselor for this camp, but in the past, Aaron and I, when we met as campers at the sleepaway camp, Laurelwood, and we both worked there for 3 years as a normal counselor and then 1 year as a division head. And I don't know, I think my heart lies there for a whole lot of reasons, but it's definitely way more fun to be a counselor there. But it's also a lot more like physically tiring. Does that make sense? It's higher highs and lower lows.
Yeah, you're with them 24/7. So like
Yeah.
that's gonna take a lot of toll, but it's gonna be funner.
It's a 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. You're operating on around 5 hours of sleep a night or something like that. And by the end of it, you just want to drop dead.
I explained it to someone I worked with last week that at a day camp, you get 8-hour days and then 2 days off a week. Whereas at sleepaway camp, you have 14-hour days, 5 days off a summer. So it adds up.
That sounds like you get less days off than at the day camp.
Mathematically, if you do the numbers, it comes out to be less.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, just for me personally, I worked at a camp one summer, Camp Mahakana with my boy Tyler Miller to my left. We were camp co-counselors. It was intense. I also worked at a different YMCA camp in Maine. That was my first ever job for like 3 weeks. I was like a replacement camp counselor, and that was interesting. But I definitely don't have the same amount of experience as you guys. But I don't know. It's a great job, I gotta say.
You're a replacement counselor?
Like I came in at the end of the summer, so I pretty much worked for like the month of August because people left to like go to college and whatnot early.
Oh, I was thinking like replacement referee sort of counselors.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Strike.
Wait, what summer did you work at Mahakana?
2018,
Mm-hmm.
before my freshman year of school.
Huh.
It was a good time.
It was a fun summer, yeah.
Tyler, was I a
Okay.
good camp counselor?
Oh, you were amazing, yeah.
Oh,
You
That's
have
okay.
You brought the same like
Yeah.
meme energy to all your kids, and like
really?
they freaking loved it. I don't
that's
know.
good vibes right there.
Yeah, you're great. Are you kidding?
Mhm.
It was a good time.
Hey Tyler,
say
I
the-
thought you were a good camp counselor.
Oh, really? Let's just keep hyping each other up. Definitely, yeah.
I think
Dude,
all
thought
you
you were.
guys
Aaron, you look
look
really
like great
cute
camp
today.
counselors.
Oh, thank you so much.
I would say the biggest difference between day camp and regular camp is like leverage and how much like you have command over them, because like they need to listen to you. And at sleepaway camp, like you are their parent. Like if they don't listen to you, they're not listening to anybody. So like they're just going to eventually listen to you. But with day camp is they're like, they're like, my mom said this, my dad said that, I don't want to. And if they don't want to do something, it's kind of just like come on, just please do it. Whereas at a sleepaway camp, there's like commonplace like punishments or like rewards that you can use that you just don't have the ability to enforce at a day camp.
That's facts. I'd say at a day camp, you're more like a babysitter, but
Mhm.
at a sleepaway camp, it's your mom and dad basically.
You have to worry. You're taking care of them. Like you are the person to make sure that they are living.
Mhm.
And I have done a little bit of an in between. I was for 1 year so our sleepaway camp has a little day camp. And I was put as a counselor for that day camp against my will, had no choice. Was not even asked. They just, came up to me, were like, hey, you're a day camp counselor, which they had to do because nobody likes it because it sucks. It's by far the worst job at camp. And I did it for an entire
There's a
summer
stigma
against my will.
against it, but it's earned.
It's awful. It's terrible. And
That's
so
tough.
I would probably say that's worse than that's probably the worst scenario out of like being a regular day camp counselor. And because it's like you're everything that a day camp is, except you get like visibly disrespected by everyone who's at the sleepaway camp in the same location.
Yeah.
Oh, I
You're the
mean,
bottom
wait.
of the totem pole.
I have a question just for a second because I feel like maybe stop me if I'm wrong, but from the way I'm like seeing it is you have kind of like a day camp job, like you do like 8 hours a day or whatever, and then you get off for like the night, right? Because you still have to live at the sleepaway camp, you still signed off to do that, but then you just have day camp hours. Is that not like from that perspective? It sounds really good to be the day camp counselor at a
It's
sleepaway camp. Where am I missing something?
so
For one thing, when the day camp kids leave, you get the amount of time like a period off would be, but all night you're still with the kids. And once the day camp kids leave, your bunk is now your kids. So you still like work the same.
Mm.
So they just give you another group once your group leaves.
yeah, and I have to.
Oh.
Yeah, I go
So there's
back
that
to my
type of
other
like
assignments.
rivalry.
It's not a rivalry. It's just, hey, bunk, I have to go be with other kids who suck more. I'll be back eventually.
Okay, yeah.
I see.
And it starts earlier. A lot of times I'm starting at like 7:30 in the morning when other kids have breakfast at 8, and then they don't start activities until later. And then these kids are too small to rest, so you don't get a rest hour, which everyone else gets after lunch. So there was a lot of, it's whatever. On the next thing, I want to ask Tyler, like, so you've been a regular counselor and a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
You said you like specialists more.
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say about that is I've done both, and there are like a bunch of different positives and negatives on either side. Being a regular counselor, you get to know the campers, you get to sort of make those bonds, even as a day camp counselor, because you see them all week. And like Will said, it's a lot more work. It's tough, but from my own perspective, I've never really been a sleepaway camp counselor. It's day camp is what I'm used to, and I can make those bonds with the kids in a short period of time. I can get them all riled up and having a good time, and it's fun. But
Tyler is good at that. He's great.
I do my best, but it's a lot of work because like Will was saying, you're not their parent, you're their babysitter. So it's really all the enthusiasm has to come from you, and you have to convince these kids to willingly do everything you want. You can't. There's no forcing. There's no punishing. It's just, please do this with me, and I will plead with you for 5 days until you finally do it. Whereas it's tough, but it pays off. And then with the specialist, it's nice because I would say like it's the responsibilities are completely different. I'm leading activities, I'm keeping kids engaged, and then they leave and the next group comes. There's a lot more downtime. There's more responsibility. I would say, depending on what I'm doing, like I last week I was the sports counselor. It was just so exhausting because I would have to do every freaking sport, and that it was so tiring. I could not take it.
Yeah.
But now this upcoming week, I'm like the rock wall counselor, and I do nothing, and it's amazing. It might be even a little boring at sometimes, but I sit in the shade and I make sure kids don't fall, and the rock wall entertains them for 45 minutes, and then they move on. And it's not at all the same as like any other like camp experience. This is now just like a job, but it's a day job, and I make more than you, and it's great.
Yeah, you do. You get paid more to like.
I was gonna say that's the biggest difference we didn't cover is that day camp counselors get paid way more because they're not allowed to cut your pay because they're not feeding us. So
that's so unfair.
It makes sense though, because they also just want to be able to function if they paid an adequate amount.
True. Yeah.
Oh, our camps.
Economics of
our camp
camps.
Yeah.
Do kids ever fall off the rock wall, by the way?
It's like 6 feet high. So if they do, they're
no.
not going very far.
Maybe just grease up the top ones for a little bit to make sure the kids get a slip and then you get a nice laugh.
Yeah,
Is that a little too morbid?
I mean, like, no.
You said it was boring.
What was it? But like reality, like they're so strict this summer. Like literally, like anything could get you fired. So like everybody's super on edge right now.
Is that because of COVID?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
Because they hired more people than they needed to, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fucking expendable. Like we don't care. we'll send you packing. We'll bring the next kid right in. We don't care."
I think it's also
fired, Tyler.
COVID.
That's so opposite of our camp. That's opposite of our
camp. There are
camp.
countless stories where they're like, "Listen, you would be fired if it wasn't so much of a hassle."
Oh my God, really?
There's like a lot of stories.
That's pretty
We're not going to tell for like
We just
A lot of
we're
reasons,
so
but
we're so short staffed that it's like
we're
it's
somehow. Sorry, you can finish.
it's hard to get fired. Like
Mm.
it felt sometimes it felt like some people were like testing to see like how far they could go without getting fired. It was
We're
like a
somehow
game.
like short-staffed, but also overstaffed. It's so odd. I don't
The
like if
girls
you
were
look.
overstaffed.
It's like if you include the specialists, there's like way too many counselors per kids. But then if you like go through a day, every bunk is like, oh, I need help.
Mm.
Right.
It's a dilemma.
It's weird.
Hmm.
And yeah,
I don't know. I have a question. So at camp, you play all these sports. I don't know. At Mahakano, my favorite sport was Gaga. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
played
Gaga's
that, but
huge at Laurelwood.
me and my boy
yes.
Davon, we were unreal at that game. And my friend Julia, she was not good at that game. We just get her out every time. Those are the best memories. I don't know.
Mhm.
What games did you guys play Gaga over there?
Absolutely.
It's the greatest
Absolutely.
game.
Oh,
There was like
as a
one
counselor,
Gaga pit that was like kind of far away, and that was the only one we used as kids. But when we started working there, they added like 4 more pits, so now the kids are even more into it, I think, than we were.
Mhm.
as a
Wait, you
counselor,
guys had 4 Gaga pits?
yeah, they made these like wooden
Oh,
frames that
that's
you could just like place
insane.
wherever you want.
We just had one. So there was all these people that wanted to play in it, but only like one group got to, and then the rest of them were sad. So that's innovation right there.
Absolutely. I just think as a counselor, it's so funny when you're just like, you're feeling lazy, so you just sit on the side, and then the kids beg you to come and play.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, come on, please, and you're like, time to ruin some days, folks.
Oh yeah. It's like interesting that like some camp counselors they go like too try hard, but like you definitely gotta like actually play, I feel like.
Oh, you got to assert your dominance.
Dude.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, and it's best when the kids are like, "No, come on, try." And it's like, "All right, your funeral, like, go and try hard, and it's on you because you asked for it."
Dude, so I used to always love participating in soccer with the kids because like I'm like decent enough to like school pretty much everybody and then like pass it to the one kid to let him score and feel better or whatever. But there was this counselor, this like huge Nigerian guy named DJ, and he did not care.
remember
He
DJ.
would barrel over kids. He would. We used to have our soccer field used to be a court like on a blacktop.
Oh yeah.
He
I
would
remember
send like
that.
4 kids to the nurse every time. And
Why would they
daycare
play
kids,
soccer?
they'll like fall over, they'll scrape something, and they'll immediately start crying. You have to take them to the nurse. So they're a little they're easier to push around, but like still, like 4 kids like every time. It'd be like, oh, DJ's group is at freaking sports.
Listen, he's meeting a
Get the
quota,
nurse over
right?
here now.
Playing at soccer on a blacktop just seems like such a liability. And they
Yeah,
literally
and it was in chain link fence too.
oh
It was like a jail
yeah.
yard.
Is this prison?
My mom called it the yard because it looked
The
like
yard.
a jail yard.
Mhm. It kind of reminds me of that now that I think about it. They literally had a huge field right next to it, and they couldn't just play it there. Like they were playing like capture the flag. That's another big camp game there the whole time. But it's like I think soccer takes a little bit more of an importance there.
Yeah.
But they were probably holding it over their heads. They're like, you see this field? Yeah, that's where you would play if you weren't worthless. You suck.
Yeah, why don't you win a game? Then we can play on the grass.
You gotta earn your way up.
I was
I'm
also
mowing our fields for you. Anyway.
I was gonna add that not like certain camps don't like follow the rules to a T because obviously we do. But at day camp, because there's so much parent interaction and stuff, like we had to fill out like incident reports every time a kid gets a band-aid. And if there's anything that's not like normal flow goes on, like we're supposed to tell our superiors just in case the parents call. And like the whole ratio thing, like if you got to take 3 kids to a bathroom or else like you are being stopped. And this year,
Oh, yeah.
whatever, you're tossed. Whereas at sleepaway camp, it's a little bit more lax because I don't know, it's just like the culture there. Like you're just living there, stuff happens, like whatever.
Oh yeah, you definitely develop like a rapport with your campers. Take the quiet.
Hmm.
I remember one time when I don't remember. It was like there's you in our camp you go from like a younger area to, and when we get older you go to an older area, the Plex. And so when I was like a really young counselor, we did this thing to our campers in the younger area called like something like preparation for Plex, and it was basically where we just like beat them up. And there was one time where we tied duct tape around a kid's ankles, and then when we took the duct tape off, like it ripped some skin. And as soon as it came off, we were like, "What happened? What happened?" He's like, "I fell. I fell." We're like, "Yes, you did. You fell."
Oh my
so,
god.
so shit like that.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
So
that's
it's so
hilarious.
funny.
I don't know if I've heard that before.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was with Jake Pappas when he came
Oh,
on.
okay.
So
That makes sense. That's so
Jeez.
funny.
I won't give context to that name. There's no
Yeah.
need.
See, that's completely different because you would get fired on the spot at day camp.
Oh,
They would
yeah.
no questions asked. They call you in. This is what you did. You're out of here. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Like the stories we could tell of people getting caught doing things and like they get
The
a
stories
slap
we
on
could
the wrist.
the stories we could tell of things that counselors did to us when we were campers.
That's true. It's changed a lot. It was way more lax when we were kids. Kids do like
Yeah.
anything like that. Is
Doesn't
it for the better? I don't know. We turned out fine.
Entertainment value, definitely not.
It's one of those things like it's just the kids like you love the attention because it's not like
Absolutely.
it's not bad. It's like you know that they're not really trying to hurt you, and you know if they hurt you, you're like, yeah, it's just part of the fun. And they usually don't like hurt you. You know, you hurt
feel
yourself
liked.
playing sports. Like it's like that. Like just
Feel
part of
liked,
the
you feel accepted.
yeah.
Like
Like
sometimes
they picked me.
counselors, yeah. Like there was sometimes when our counselors would take a kid in the middle of the night, they would take a kid out of the bunk in his mattress and place his mattress in another bunk. So when he woke up, he was in a different bunk than when he fell asleep. And
That's
like,
pretty funny.
yeah, it is. It's really funny, but you could never ever do that anymore. You
Oh.
would be out of there.
Even at that camp where they don't fire people.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they do fire people, but
Well, yeah,
you
but like
gotta-
a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
like yeah, I don't know if that would actually result in firing, but that would not be good.
Like
I've
no
never
one think, no one
seen-
would do it.
I've never seen a counselor get fired before. I don't know. That
It's
sounds
awkward.
tough.
I mean, they don't do it in front of you, Chima.
You know,
They
that,
make
you know,
an
that's a good
announcement.
point.
They're getting announced in the middle of everyone. Yo, everybody, this fucking fool, he's out of here. He's
We get a
fired. Everybody
Facebook
laugh.
Live.
Well, like during like morning meeting with the whole camp, they're like, "Hey,
All right,
so you know that guy Tyler Miller? Oh, he's out."
all right. It's gonna be a
World
hot
star.
Hot
World
one
star.
today. Field trip tomorrow. This guy got fired. You know, keep your shoes on.
Mhm.
That would be good.
What
Good
was
for
it?
the overall morale.
And
Little
one
bit of
thing I'm
reality
curious
TV
about,
show.
like some of my best memories of camp, especially of sleepaway camp, are like, are like the special activities, you know,
Mhm.
the evening activities. Once you're done with like all your stuff in the day, and the counselors have some like crazy like zombie apocalypse alien invasion type thing going on, like a full camp scavenger hunt stuff. Like those are some of my favorite memories. And day camp has like a similar version, but I'm curious if you guys have any specific memories from your camp, sleepaway camp.
It seems like William has frozen.
Yeah, I think that's a tough look for him.
Yeah, that's not gonna pan out well. But it's interesting because this
Oh,
past
now he's
year.
back.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, that was odd.
How's your trip?
My internet connection is unstable. Join the club.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, continue.
I was just gonna say it's interesting because just this past year we were supervisors, and it's really interesting to be on the other side of those sort of activities when you organize them. And there are just some real classics. We have this game called Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Which is like this whole made up game where it's almost like free for all flag football in a way.
Yeah.
There's no
that's a good way.
football, it's just your flag. You just want to protect your flag.
Mm.
And then it shrinks as the kids get more out, basically. And it's a lot of fun. Kids love it. It's good for all ages. That's a classic one.
It's interesting because it changes a lot year to year, and there are only a few that stay. And I wouldn't say because it's like a nightly thing, there aren't too many things that are like super crazy special, but they are a lot of fun. Are there any other that stick out in your mind?
I'd say paint tag is really fun for the little kids.
That's a classic, absolutely.
Where you wear like a white t-shirt and there's like plates with paint. So then you like get on your hands, like, you know, I always enjoyed that when I worked with the younger kids.
It's an open invitation to flirt with female counselors if you're
Yes.
into that.
Another positive of sleepaway camps is just like the culture.
The definitely better culture, yeah.
Absolutely. That's what, like when I said the
Huge open
highs are
culture.
higher, those are the highs. Culture,
Oh, yeah.
the friends. Yeah.
No,
You're not
I
good there.
don't think anybody's disputing that. Like, you just get closer with people at sleepaway camp. It's like how
It's
it
just
is.
such
Spend
an
more time with
experience.
them. You could have become like a unit, and
Mhm.
like also like people are confined to each other. There's just like no like outside like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and like see my friends like there is with like day camp. Like
Mhm.
these are your best friends for the next what is it, like 9 weeks or something.
Friends
8
for life.
usually.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends for life until they allow you to come on their podcast and you ghost them.
Oh yeah.
That's the plan.
But for real, there's only one person. There's only one like male that I would ever cuddle. It's William.
Oh,
I'd cuddle a lot.
That's
But you're my
exciting.
favorite.
hmm
I'm blushing.
All right, so we were gonna talk about like tips also or
Yeah,
something.
some overall honest advice on how to be a camp counselor.
In terms of honest advice, I'd say the best one is to like be forward with the kids. Obviously, it's like teasing, and sometimes you just lie to make it easier. But like, I like to treat them as much like human beings as possible, given their age. Sometimes you have to like
Mhm.
cushion it more, but like, I talk to them as if I talk to anyone else. But sometimes I have to like kidify it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Because
think that's a good
kids see
point.
through you, whether you know it or not. Like whether they know it or not, they kind of see through you. So if you're honest and like upfront with them, they'll be more respectful of you. Right?
I'd say total opposite. Put them in a cage. Treat them like your dog. Then they'll be
Okay.
obedient.
Two
Have some-
different styles of camp
Honestly, yeah, two
counselor.
very different styles. Aaron's not kidding. That is what he does.
Yep, it's
But
true.
you know what? They both work, and also there's a lot of different counselor styles.
I put up
Tyler would
electric
probably be like
fences.
Tyler would remind me. My guess would be like a Sam Filler type. It's a lot of energy. Kids love it, and
Tyler's
they
big
just
on
like
energy.
hanging.
Somebody,
I would hope. Okay, yeah,
I mean, if we're just talking about positive parts,
sure.
yeah. Well, I mean, like day camp is different, so I think about like honesty and stuff, and I think that's important at like a day camp. But more importantly, I would say like enthusiasm, like bringing energy. Like the kids respond really well to that, and you only have to keep them entertained for like X hours in the day. So keeping everybody active and like participating takes a lot of energy, enthusiasm. Like
Mhm.
somebody the other day called me a puppy, and I was like insulted at first. Like,
But you just gotta roll with it.
but like that's the type of energy you need. You
Yeah.
need to come out like just ridiculous and keep everybody occupied,
Mhm.
and that's how you get it done. Mm-hmm.
I'd say for me, even more important than that is just specifically freeze pops. Just big time snack in the camp game.
Yeah.
Make sure your kids got freeze pops. But I also I like this just keep them busy, keep them active, because let's say you guys like play sports for like 3 hours. After those 3 hours, your kids are going to be tired. They're not going to complain as much. They were fulfilled. So it's just going to be an overall better experience for you. Another interesting point is I think when they're like campers that are having problems, especially little kids, well, in general, but you're going to see some interesting problems between 6-year-olds that you're not going to see with like 11-year-olds. I think the biggest key is like just think in their shoes, I'd say. Like just think about it and like understand where they're coming from and just try your best to make the most logical solution. may not make a whole lot of sense, but the key is to just move on with that and get through the rest of the day with a smile on your face. I don't know.
Oh, I think especially for sleepaway camp, keeping the kids busy, because when you're trying to get those motherfuckers to sleep at night, it's so much easier when they're tired.
Mm-hmm.
If they're tired, they're just going to want to go to sleep. But if they didn't do anything, if they sat out of all their activities, they're going to have so much energy bundled up, and they're never going to get in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that I would also support honesty, like definitely, like even to the point where sometimes I would say to kids, like, look, this is my job is to make sure you do this thing. And that's why I'm doing this.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
have to understand where I'm coming from. I think something that people don't often think about as much is like relationship with your superior. Like that is huge. If you have a good relationship with your superior, like you're going to get their help. You can go to them for advice. You're going to get their benefit of the doubt in like weird situations. Like it really is pivotal for like being comfortable in your job, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say pretty much every camp I've ever been to, whether it be sleepaway camp or day camp, I've been on both sides of establishing the rules, like early, immediately, and clearly, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's at like sleepaway camp where it's like you get into the bunk and they're like, all right, we're going to make some bunk rules together on what we can and can't do. Or whether it's at like day camp and you like sit down in that first circle and the counselors are like, these are the rules, guys. This is how the day is going to go. These are our operating procedures. It's so important that you make sure that you tell them early and you tell them clearly so that when they inevitably break those rules, you can be like, this is why, like, we need to talk about this and this is what you're doing wrong. And they will know and probably never fix it.
And just to Chima's point earlier about giving them like logical solutions to their problems, it's also important to remember, especially the younger they get, the less like theory of mind they have, where like they don't like imagine how other people
Psychology.
react to situations, and they just have less experience and they haven't, faced problems that like are commonplace. But like, if they're like 7 or 8, they've never experienced that stuff before. So walking them through problems, like, and teaching them sort of like how to exist is probably one of the most like fulfilling moments.
Oh yeah. You
And
get
it's
to be
important
a
like,
role
keep in
model,
mind.
which
Yeah,
is very.
yeah.
It's just a good feeling to
Mhm.
feel like you actually have like a positive influence on someone, which is probably one of the reasons why, like, in my opinion, I think being a camp counselor is probably like the best job you can have as a teenager. Just like the impact you can make on kids is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
on
like-
yourself too, because having to lead somebody makes you more responsible.
Yeah.
Usually.
I think there's like hardly a better feeling than feeling like you helped a kid become a better person.
Mhm.
And it's hard as well because when the summer ends and the kid goes back to whatever environment they were in before they came, you know that a lot of that is going to, be erased because you're not there. And this sounds like weird and like self-righteous, but you're not there to make sure they keep doing that thing and keep growing in that way.
Oh yeah, you want to like check in on them.
Yeah.
You develop a relationship, like you actually miss them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I miss my boy Davon.
Oh yeah, I miss a lot of my kids over the
Who do you
years.
miss most?
Most, I'm gonna give a couple. Is it
Go for it.
Ezra? Because I had him for
Okay.
2 years, and like Elliot, I had him for 2 years.
You miss Elliot?
He was fun, and I felt like I helped him. And
I guess so.
like Jordan, I really feel like I impacted him.
Jordan, like
The
the one I'm
Jordan.
thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
right. Like he's a kid that needed a lot of shaping and molding, and I feel like I actually helped in some way, just a little bit.
Dude, I was like his dad in the last summer. This kid has a lot of things he struggles with and like behaviorally and like I don't want to reveal too much of his personal information because I know there were things that I knew that I wasn't even supposed to tell the people I was working with, but like he was a project and there are some kids that are just projects and that's just how it is. But it's weird because those are the kids you get so close to over the summer because you just have to deal with them so much and you develop relationships and ways to deal with things, and it's a weird love-hate sort of thing.
And also our camp, both of our camps that we've all worked at, there's children with special needs, and I'd say
Oh yeah.
one specifically, Jacob. He's a camp legend. I was fortunate enough
Legend.
to have him in that summer of mine that was cut short, and I know for a fact I was making like behavioral adjustments that would help him, and that's probably one of my greatest achievements.
Okay. Not to pivot really quickly, but another thing that's so different between camp, sleepaway camp, and day camp is that parents will send their kids to sleepaway camp and take them off their meds
Really?
and take them
Oh.
off their
Forgot
ADHD
about
meds.
That's a real.
What?
I forgot about that.
That's the real deal right there.
Yeah, you'll get a camper, and within 3 hours, you're like, this kid almost definitely has ADHD, but he's not taking any meds. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? They still need their meds.
They still need their meds.
Like, my God.
Why? Is there any logical explanation for that? Because I can't think.
That just seems
Out of
cruel.
sight,
I don't know.
out of mind.
My thought is that the
Yeah.
parents are like, I'm not taking care of the kid. I don't give a shit anymore.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Not the
They
greatest
probably
parenting.
tell themselves, they're like, oh, they'll get tired out. They're playing all day. It's like, that's not how it
Oh,
works.
it's so
at
bad.
all.
Yeah, if you're a
Do you
parent thinking of doing
contact the
that,
parents?
don't.
It's really hard. Like, it's really hard. You can't. There's really hardly a way to say 100% like this kid was on meds and now he's not, unless you call the parents and they admit it. Like, you can't really tell the parents like you like it's really awkward. Like, you can't accuse them of taking the kids off meds.
That seems like so bad. Like it's just fake. Like you're lying. But I know you're
I
not.
wish I was.
But like, what? That just blows my mind that a parent would do. Why? That's like deliberately torturing your kid.
Torturing the
That
counselor.
That hurts. That hurts.
It's
my
not
head.
good vibes.
That
I'd
hurts
say.
my head.
Being the supervisor, especially, you get a glimpse into some things parents do that just doesn't make any sense at all.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yikes.
Not great.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people out there that are parents that you think, how'd you get there? How'd you do that? How'd you manage it?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like this is a long episode.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but look, so yeah, that was our overall view on how to be a camp counselor. I think it turned in a lot of comparing day camps and sleepaway camps, but I think that's really good. It's two definitely different things. Tyler, it was great seeing you. Will, it was great seeing you. Aaron, thank you very much
The man
for
of the
coming
hour.
through.
Oh no,
If you
no.
haven't subscribed or followed on Spotify to Who Asked, what's like your catchphrase? Is most inconsequential show on the internet?
Absolutely, that's it.
There we go. The most inconsequential show on the internet. It's a great podcast. I'm a huge fan.
I
It
appreciate
stars this kid Aaron and then Alex, I think.
Yep.
I like his name. First off, that's a great name. But yeah, no, if you gotta do it. Huge fans of what they do. They do some great stuff. Hopefully, we'll have a collab with them on their podcast at some point. But
Yeah, I would love that.
oh yeah. But look, everybody, 52 subscribers. Thank you very
Road
much
to
for the
1,000.
support on the podcast. Look, road to
Huge.
1,000. We are so close. We are closer than we've ever been before. Just a few more to go. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to get these on Spotify at some point. If you're listening on Spotify in a few months, follow us. I think that's what it is. But look, really appreciate the support. Like, comment, subscribe. New episodes every Wednesday. Expect more Chalky Milk reviews. Anything else to say?
The
Us on
50
LinkedIn?
subscriber Q&A is coming soon.
Coming soon. Absolutely.
The water's turning the frogs gay.
Yep. Absolutely. And one last little. Until next time. See ya.